Maybe we get the sunset a bit as well.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get the sunset. This is yours. If you want
Hey, I think I need to, right?
Do you want to sit in the middle? Then we have a little.
Sounds good, man. How's it going, G's? You good?
We're doing the jingle thing.
The jingle thing.
The jingle thing.
Very studio, very studio.
Yes, you can hear
You're
it.
listening to Operator.
I'm good, man. I'm a bit crusty from the weekend.
Oh yeah, you had a weekend there, no?
Yeah.
That was a crusty time slot.
Yeah.
True, you had like a whole weekend as well.
Yeah, so-
yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
double trouble.
Yeah.
DJ Double
Yeah.
Trouble.
DJ Double Trouble. My homie of mine said you're playing 13 hours in 24 hours time. So
Yeah.
that sums about it. But I'm good now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
Yes, thanks for coming.
Cozy.
Yeah, we've got Vasco in the house. Big man. We have, welcome to Operator. Welcome to our show, Why Do You Care? A show where we ask people, why do you care? And we invite people that inspire us, people that do things we think are important for the world of music. And because it's all one big organism and we all contribute. So,
100%.
welcome. Thanks for coming. And tell us about yourself. What you do?
Yeah, so I think within the music realm, as you described, I think I play music, I collect music, and I'm a promoter. So I host an event with my homie Wes called Weird, which was yesterday, the 4-year anniversary, which was dope. And aside from that, I'm responsible for the programming at an Utrecht-based venue called NAR, and I think that's kind of the triangle. So DJing, promoting, and programming, and that's what I do, I guess.
And then
yeah,
apart from music, just who are you?
yeah. So I mean, I guess usually if somebody asks like, "Who are you?" we tend to use the things we do as work.
That's true.
As
But also
more
like
than work,
favorite
probably.
food.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
you
yeah.
like to
But
do.
I mean, like, I guess part of the reason to tell a lot about work is because we spend most of the time in our days
Yeah.
working, I guess. I mean, at least that's how I do it right now. So yeah, but it's also a bit weird that's like part of like your
Yeah.
identity and what you do.
I mean, I just came from a wedding, and it's always interesting. The first question is like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, it's really like, this is what you do, and this is who you are,
Yeah,
which
man.
is kind of true, but there's always more to it.
Yeah, but aside from the work thing, I don't know. I live in Utrecht. Grew up in Haarlem, and moved to Utrecht for my studies at the time. And I studied on the HKU, the Art Academy in Utrecht, for direction for film. Which was, it's really warm in here, man.
Thank you.
2 minutes already.
Yes.
We got a couple more minutes to go.
And at some point after that was done, rolled into the music thing with hosting events and DJing and everything. And
But slow down. How did we get?
Exactly.
How did
where
we
it
get there?
start?
What was the first musical click that happened?
So I'm not really sure, because I think if I look back to once I lived in Haarlem with my parents, I guess, I mean, I listened to music and various, genres and styles, but I had the feeling that it didn't really impress me yet that much, and I think it wasn't for moving to Utrecht and meeting some of my friends who are now still my homies, Wes being one of them, and being surrounded by them, and them being, enthusiasts of various musical styles and things that I wasn't even aware of that was a thing, that really kind of inspired me and sort of paved the way for sort of investigating myself, what I actually liked within music. So I don't know, like in the past I listened to indie and rock stuff, and I don't know, various things, but I think musically it was more or less in the realm of what your, I guess, regular teenager would listen to on middle school. As already said, once I moved and got into contact with all these inspiring homies of mine that really showed me going out and music and DJing and events, then that really sort of opened up for me and I don't know, paved the way. So yeah.
Nice. And was there something, it's probably like difficult to maybe point out, but was there something that really clicked for you? Or was it more like a smooth transition of experiencing more and liking it more, and all of a sudden you're like in it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Like the story I usually tell, why I kind of rolled into DJing is based on, once I was studying in the first year of my studies, it was quite a hectic moment in my life, I guess, where I moved out to a new house, which wasn't really a house that I kind of felt safe in. You know, it was a sort of a
Was it a student housing? Or
it was a student housing.
we all been there.
We've all been there. Yeah, it was shitty, man. Like it was like a temporary thing, and it was somebody else's room without my own stuff. So it was a bit weird. The first year of my studies was quite hectic, and there were various other things that were kind of heavy on the heart, I guess, and. At some point, I kind of developed symptoms of this thing called derealization and depersonalization, which is some sort of dissociative disorder, where how I would describe it is as if I'm sort of experiencing the world as if I'm in a film or something.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through the eyes of my sort of robotic body that doesn't really feel that it belongs to me, but I'm sort of operating this sort of instrument, and I felt really sort of dissociated from my own self and my body, and that went on for a very long time. I didn't even really know what it was. I know the term. At some point I found out about it because a friend like suggested it, that it could be something that I was dealing with, but it took me a very long while before I kind of found out what it was, and then I don't know, went into therapy with it and everything. But like in the meantime, I kind of figured this sort of DJ thing out, and what I was really intrigued about was like mixing, not necessarily only the music, but mainly just like mixing records together and like being really focused like on making the perfect blend with certain tunes. And I found that once I was doing that and I was really living into that thing at home with like turntables and records and like blending and mixing, that I didn't really experience this sort of dissociative feeling anymore, because I was just really fixated on what I was doing or something, and then I kind of became hooked on that feeling and on like being busy, like hyper focused type stuff. And then I guess the mixing actually came first. So I immediately bought like turntables, and I didn't have enough records, so I bought this digital vinyl system, like DVS, the thing that like the Serato hip hop DJs use, you know.
Yeah.
So
I always wonder how that is.
Yeah, man, it's really. I mean, for me, it was great. You know, you get the chance to play digital files in a sort of analog way, and while I was doing that, I was like collecting more records. So all the tunes that I didn't have on record, I could play through digital vinyl system, and then in the meantime, like you make your collection bigger. But like I was really fixated on like making sort of weird 78 disco blends with, I don't know, like tunes that shouldn't supposed to work together, and really fixated on how to make it work together. And then at some point, after I kind of got that skill and kind of knew how to, move through various tunes, I actually thought like, yo, like this mixing is dope and all, but like, yo, eventually it's also about the music, you know? And then I actually like really delved into music as a whole, I guess, and started to really take that seriously. So it was mixing first, I guess, and then
And was it all coming from yourself, kind of like self-realizations, and just, or were there any? You talked about your homies influencing you, or did you get into DJs and hear them preach about certain things? And
I guess, so it was at first mainly my homies, seeing them play, and then was like, yo, this is really cool, perhaps this is something that I could do too. And they showed me like the whole world of events and other DJs, and they were already fan like of lots of
and how old were you there?
I think it's 8 years ago, so I was like 20. And they really kind of showed me all these various DJs, with one at the time which was really my favorite, which was Loud E, which is the disco don from Sittard, like places really like obscure cocaine disco, like late 70s, like spaced out psychedelic stuff. And like was really is still really part of this Intergalactic FM crew, and like friends of mine showed me Intergalactic FM, and through that I got to Loud E, for example, which was really, I don't know, like I had the feeling that the way how I sort of approached mixing at first, without not being too busy with the music, but more or less the mixing, that felt really that he was like a good example of how I would want that to be or something. And then like eventually found other DJs. I mean, I guess Dekmantel and 2015 or something, DJs like Motor City Drum Ensemble, Taco, Orfeo the Wizard, I don't know, Palms Tracks, I don't know, Antal, Hoenie, all these
the
like
the Hall of Fame.
I would say this more soulful oriented kind of jocks, and we went to like lots of events with them playing, and surely that was really inspiring. And I do have the feeling that at that time we really thought, or at least I thought in the beginning, that like everybody was really busy with like digging for obscure finds, and everything needs to be rare and like expensive and everything. And then I kind of tapped into that as well a bit, because at some point I was like, okay, what do they play? Like, what tunes do I need to have in order to stand out or something? And then at some point, like a couple of months later, I just like bought a couple of tunes in like thrift stores and like record stores, but like I would say like a sort of a digger at the time would say more on the surface level of like digging deep tunes.
I always love it if you pull a, like if you play a track or get a track and then he says, like someone says, oh, that's a classic, and you're like, what do you mean it's a classic? Everything is a classic for someone.
But the thing was, like I think it was like Harvey Mason, Groove in You, which, well, to some people is a classic or some, but like this sort of digger extraordinaire didn't know what the tune was. And I was like, oh, you don't know what the tune is, but like for me, this is an example of something that isn't really necessarily hard to find or something. And then at that moment, it clicked for me that it really doesn't matter, because eventually it's all like about the context and what's in the eye of the beholder, because everybody can play everything, and I have no idea what you play, and you show me, you know. And even if it's like dig deep stuff or not, like like you just, I mean, I have no idea, like what other people play, and everybody's really busy with, especially new DJs, I find, like being busy as well. And as I was at the time, like, oh, I hope this is good, you know. But eventually, it's not about that, you know. Usually, everything is dope if you like it, you know. So and I think from that moment on, I really started, I don't know, not giving a fuck necessarily about like about sort of the rareness about the music or something, and I was just like, yo, I don't know, dope music is dope music.
And also with DJing, it goes much beyond that, you know. It's just a way of storytelling, and like you said, I love this. There's a really fun recording of Theo at Plastic People, and he played like "Smells Like Teen Spirit" from Nirvana, and then after that played a Herbie Hancock, or it sounds like Herbie Hancock cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit," super soulful, like 13-minute version.
Sick.
So then it's the most classic tune ever, but then it gets translated into look at this, like it's a bit of hooking them. So it doesn't matter what the fuck you play, like you say.
Yeah.
And, but I find it so funny how I think all our people, we go through the same recipe. It's homies putting us in, and then we find our little digging hole of information and go our way a bit.
Yeah, I guess, man.
But it's always, especially this, I feel like, or maybe it's just our circle, but it's always friends that just pull you into this world, and then.
Yo, and I'm super blessed, man. Like, I mean, like at the time, my homies, we were in this. It was like a student board sports association, skating, surfing, snowboarding, and everything called Spin, and it was like every Monday there was this cafe where all the people from Spin went to for some drinks, and I met like all these friends that were into music there and at the events that were happening there. And at some point, we usually had dinner on Monday with a bunch of friends from that same place. Brought all the tunes, and then like started playing music. And then afterwards, went to the cafe. But then at some point, we didn't go to the cafe anymore. We just like only playing music every Monday. And then it was really fun because it was like sort of people, like friends, showing each other like music and talking about these things. And it was really an inspiring time, I guess, at that point. So man, like the friends, shout out.
Big shout out. And that's also what it should be. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just friends. I mean, also we were last week, I can't say too much, but we were doing a video shoot for something, and people were really getting down and just having, like, even if the camera was down, people were just dancing.
Yeah.
And I was like talking to him, it's like, this is much better than some club nights. And it's like this label around clubbing, and it needs to be at 2 a.m. and smoky. Like, it can be anywhere, and it can be on a Monday in your apartment.
Man. Just like the mindset that people come in with. I think. Yeah. Because like if you have like a certain, I think people just have a certain expectations of, I go there, this is what is catered to me. That's it.
Yeah.
But like there it was the other way around. Like, we come here to do this, and because we come here to do this, we feel very like. Yeah, it was fucking.
I hear you, man. Like, eventually, for me, the end game or the end goal would be like loft style events. You know, having a house and having a sort of space next to the house or in the house where you can, I don't know, bring a bunch of dope speakers and then host like every weekend a birthday with 70 people. You know, and dance, because I don't know, like
that's what it's about.
100%.
But maybe this is a nice pivot to you as a programmer at NAR, and or maybe because just your journey doesn't have to be NAR, just your journey as a professional within music. How does it feel?
You're professional.
You make
professional music.
Well, you make your bread and butter,
right?
So. But you know, just because, like Lo said, people are catered. We are in a very interesting space. How do you feel about it? How do you go about it?
So, I mean, like, with a lot of things, and even in this thing, like it's all about like compromises, I guess, as well. And I'm thankful to be able to work at a place where I can earn my money with curating nights and selecting artists or hosting dope nights. But even that it's amazing to do it, it's still like a struggle in order to, I guess, make it work. I mean, with our place, we're blessed that that it's going pretty well and that like the nights are pretty filled. But I mean, I'm always busy with like sculpting the ideal sort of perfect storm in order to have a great night. And I think that eventually, if you want to have a great night, it shouldn't be within paid walls. But it should be, as I already said, with this sort of dream idea of having a free loft style event, because like as you like sort of the intimacy and the connectivity and this idea of people being together at, let's say, illegal events or at house parties is sort of has this energy where everybody brings something to the table rather than having a transactional sort of thing with nightlife. So I'm going to visit this place, I buy a ticket for experiencing this thing, and that gives me sort of the right to, I don't know, do whatever I want, or at least like, I don't know,
behave
like
a certain way.
Exactly. And like, I mean, we as a nightclub or a cafe or restaurant, and same with others, like you facilitate that thing, though I think what we're chasing is this ideal sort of moment where everybody, or not necessarily everybody, is on the same page, but where everybody moves in the same way and experiences something together, and everybody's quite aligned with what is happening. And I have the feeling that it's quite tough to create in nightclubs in general if you pay for a ticket. Aside from the fact that things are expensive, people don't necessarily want to buy a ticket, and you feel that like the energy on free nights is I mean, in my opinion, way better, or like is different from like a paid night. So yeah, I don't know, like in the ideal world, you would want to have a place that is free of charge or like donation based, where at least like the production costs, sort of things of creating the event, are being covered, but where everybody brings something to the table as well. One does the sound, one does the food, one does the DJing or the music, and one brings a couple of crates of beer, and yeah.
I'm just curious, maybe my question will be a bit like elaborate, because I know you also do at NAR like the free Thursday nights, for example, and also how do you try to, you have like this goal, achieve it with NAR, and also the whole thing of, okay, we need certain headliners maybe that bring another crowd, but they're also like really expensive, but you want to keep tickets low. Do you have like a way of doing things at NAR? Because how you describe it is like very community based, like everybody brings something and they just do it for the joy of it.
That would be the ideal way. That's not how we do it, I guess, but that would be the ideal way of like hosting events. No, but what we do at our place is we have like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which are the days we host events, day events, and club nights, and the Thursday is free. And the Friday and Saturday, it's a ticket price ranging from 9 till 13.50. I mean, what I like about the place is that the venue kind of attracts people for not necessarily the lineup, but just for the place, I guess. So I would argue that usually on regular nights, 90% of the people aren't necessarily aware, I guess, of what's playing, but they just trust the place and trust like what is happening there, perhaps curation wise, but also just it's nice to have a place where you can go outside and have a chill with the friends, and then walk inside again, have a dance, and like move around in that way. And surely you sometimes with the bigger events you want to be busy with booking certain artists that have a certain stature, and that might attract a bit more people than like under the radar DJs. But in all honesty, like we have various nights that sell out with super under the radar like DJs, because I guess people kind of trust the curation or trust the place in that's the place I want to go to if I want to go out. And what I like about the Thursdays is that it's free, and therefore the crowd's way younger. So you see that the crowd is varying on a Thursday between 18 years old until 22, where like the sort of medium, or like the age, the regular age on a Friday and Saturday is around 27, 28, sometimes older. And what I like to do now is, because the Thursdays are, it's like packed, like super packed. So last 3 weekends, it was like there's a line of like 100 people standing in front of the door because they want to go in, but it's already full with 400 people inside. So then it's going to be like 1 in, 1 out, and people just stay for an hour, like in front of the door.
It's so crazy to see. The thing is, like the ticket price that you are doing, I think is very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But like when it's free,
Yeah.
and it's a fucking Thursday, like people have something on Friday,
Yeah, but it's also a
go
huge
there.
student city.
But still it's
Yeah, but
crazy to see
Yeah.
that if you have something like this, people go
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Yo, and like I love it that it's like young peeps. Like, I mean, I really sort of see myself there once I was 18 or something. You know, like if I see all these kids like enjoying themselves, I'm like, yo, I'm happy that everybody's like finding these things. And
Yeah.
because like things are going well on a Thursday, I'm able to make some dope risks within like the creation as well, because people are, because it's free, they don't really like, they just accept what is happening, because it's like, yo, this is how they do it over here. I'm not paying to enter. If I don't like it, I'll just go away. But that actually gives the chance to dig deeper and try out like more obscure and like I don't know, experimental stuff till some degree. You want to make it like danceable, obviously, but I don't know. In the past, having like people like French 2 or Kima or like Cinnamon or Rob Manga on a Thursday.
Yeah, it's great.
Like,
Rob is also like triple the age.
man, like Rob has been playing for 40 years.
Yeah.
And
Like
these kids
double the people that are there.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I find that such a dope idea to have like somebody play, which is usually, I mean, in the case of, let's say, a French 2 or something, or so, it's like usually DJs that I perhaps not necessarily could book on a Friday or Saturday. I mean, depends a bit on the crowd and how intentional they're there for, like such a sound or such an experience. But because these youngsters like are open to lots of things, you can book someone like that, and then at the end of the night they'd be like, "Yo, who are you?" You know, and then having them, because they don't know like these DJs, but they just, I don't know, go to NAR because it's free and they like the place. But then if you have a French 2 or a Cinnamon play at the end of the night, to the end of the night and all night long, and then having these kids of 18 years old ask afterwards, "Yo, who are you?" You know?
Yeah.
And then that might like open the door for them to eventually go to Draaimolen or Dekmantel or Rewire, or like all these sort of more, like things that I was visiting or currently visit, which I really like, and could really open the door for like others, you know. And that's super dope to do right now, you know. To
and there's also the difference with not paying, because when you pay, exactly like you said, you expect a certain service. So by them going in for free, they have to be open for that.
exactly.
But it's also, we talk about it a lot of episodes, but just there is this very interesting bridge. I think that's exactly the generation that comes on the Thursdays, is the people that went when they should have gone clubbing and experiencing is when COVID came.
Yeah.
So that's this gap generation of where clubbing went obsolete, and then when the doors opened again, it went really, because clubs were like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna make cash," because COVID could happen any day again.
Yeah.
So then you got bottle service, you got weird techno situations, and like, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And things become very shallow, very quick to just get a lot of reach and get a lot of tickets, etc.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, sort of to I still I agree with like that whole movement and like what happened after it. Though I do have the feeling that even if COVID didn't happen, like musically we would probably be in the same realm, I guess, because things just move in a certain way, but like sometimes I'm also like it has a big influence, but like it's been past like us now for a couple of years. I'm just really curious, like if it really had such an impact, because everybody is saying it all the time, and it's a logical thing to say, but like I'm like, yeah, I've heard this story enough now, because I have the feeling, we're past that, and I think the people, surely there's so many. It did so many things for like people at the time, being at home, not being able to go out, experiences with using drugs or drinking at home. So in a total different sort of environment, not be able to see new people. And
I think it goes way beyond that.
Yeah.
Not just musically, but also the way we stuck to our phones much more. The way like mental health got infected in a way.
It's like it's like the it's a, I would say, not necessarily perfect, but to use the word perfect storm, it was like so many certain things coming together at the same time, you know, like not being able to see other people, but and like sort of the how sort of social media exploded, and like the tech behind that, you know, and all these sort of things, and surely that moved into various directions. Though what I'm now seeing, which I find really dope, with all these young kids on a Thursday, if you're 18 or 19, even though it might be people that like visit TikTok regularly or Instagram or like all these other social mediums, I find it super dope to see that they're keen to experiment and find new stuff. So I think it makes sense that there was a generation that kind of was in the middle of COVID that perhaps sort of, I don't know, found new ways or experienced everything in a different way than how we're currently seeing with youngsters coming up and going out. But it could be like a gap of 2 years of like people who are now 23, 22-ish. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I couldn't say.
But I think it's also like, I mean, it's also, we talk about it a lot, and I think it also doesn't make sense that you're always like stuck and say, oh, it was better.
Right.
No,
so
I
it's
think
always
it was
like,
always better in the past.
But I think it's just like different. So I think it's really great that what you do on a first day to try to get people in. And if you do it in Utrecht, I mean, I think everyone in Utrecht knows about NAR. Everyone, like at least as from the young students that go there. So I was also like thinking, like, what is your plan as a promoter at NAR? Do you just want to keep it up and see where it goes, or do you have like certain things in mind you want? I mean, you touched a bit upon it, like the loft, and want to make it free. But is there something you want to really go towards, or you want to take it step by step and see if your concept works and develops?
I'm not too sure about it actually. Like what I feel right now is that I'm quite happy where it's going and being able to push dope DJs and work together with dope collectives. Though what I see as well is that like nightlife isn't for everyone or something. You want to make it something for everyone, and then at the same time, what the struggle is that I was actually talking about it yesterday with Vasco and the dudes from that were operating our lights at NAR. That if you have a club or have a place where you need to make a certain profit in order to have it exist, it's like this sort of capitalistic construction, and therefore because it's a capitalistic construction, if it's going well, you're able to try and do new things. But if you're not necessarily doing well, which is the case for like lots of places and lots of clubs, you're forced to move in certain ways in order to make it work. Same with like contracts with, I don't know, the suppliers of drinks, and also the contracts for agencies and DJs, etc. It's all these like small capitalistic constructions, and because that's like there, it's like a direct translation of how kind of society works, which is like an unfair, racist, Dutch society, and like there's a lot of inequality, you know. And I think if you're dealing with a commercial construction, automatically, I don't know, you kind of are delving into this realm of inequality to some extent. And I think that's like, at some point you have like people that care about that and want try to make it work and like move away from it, but because there are so many constructions that are on the foundation of creating culture, it's really hard to move it in a certain way if you have all these people on board, where a couple of them might be for plan A, a couple of might be for plan B. People need to earn their money, you know, and that's why I kind of dig this idea of like loft style free events, is because then you overcome all these structures, you know, and that's why like illegal events outside, or I don't know, people building sound systems, like I don't know, it's just based on this is for everyone, we kind of want to overcome this inequality societal thing, you know.
I mean, it proves that music is something that's why it was used for revolution and so much, because we can make it for free and we can share it for free, and it's always been used as a kind of counter culture. The same, I think you see it now more and more. There's a lot of grassroots, kind of a lot of DJs being like, man, fuck this, I'm gonna do it myself. Yeah. And I think we are in a bubble, but in so many cities you see suddenly people be like, okay, I'm gonna do my own party. You got DTM doing his own record shop in Antwerp. Yeah. When he was here, it was just like there's nothing there, so someone has to do it. Exactly. And then it grows out of there. Yeah. And what is tricky though, I mean, there's a lot of people who notice like, oh, I can make a lot of money suddenly. And then they go.
I mean, but even like opening up stuff, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm super dope where DTM is going with like the record store and everything. I'm super sick. I'm really curious, like with other places opening up, like a lot of individuals need to have funds, need to have someone usually that backs them, and that makes automatically again this capitalistic construction, and therefore is an equal thing, you know. And
I think it's really tricky because I'm always thinking about it more and more. I mean, we're really grateful for sometimes we invite people to play at our party. They know us, we offer them like a great night, and then whatever is left we can pay them. But on the other hand, like especially what you say, if you try to make it free, usually you do it yourself. And like if we would do an event for free, it's most likely that we're gonna play. Right. But we also want to invite someone. Right. Yeah. We want to pay them fairly. So it's like really tricky, because if you want to make the concept work, then you need really people that would be just down to do it, let's say for free, for something different. And most of the times if you do your own events, you're the only one that does stuff for free.
I mean, like if I look back to, let's say, the Weird events 4 years ago, once we started at Echo, the first 2.5 years that we did that event, we didn't play ourselves. We were just like pushing other people because we just wanted to give like space for others to do their thing, and people we found inspiring, and wanted to know how they do on such a night. And now we moved over to the Sunday, and funny enough, I kind of not necessarily came back from the idea of only pushing other people, because like what I'm seeing right now is people really feel connected to the individuals that are the promoters, but also if they're playing,
they also want to see you play.
Exactly. I mean, in the first 2.5 years that we hosted Weird, the people came up to Wes and myself and be like, "Oh yeah, I thought you were playing."
It's so true.
And people don't really look to the posters sometimes, or like
just
look
know
at
it's you. They know something. Oh, it's
So like what you book will be also for yourself, because you just find it dope to push other people, and we really keep on doing that. Though I also do feel that you're the one, as a promoter, that really understands your target audience, and your friends and the people that come over, and they're excited to hear you play, because they're excited about you, about the event, and all these things. So, in all honesty, I do find, like nowadays, I have the feeling that the most successful promoters in our realms, not being it the biggest promoters that are making lots of money and doing like big events, but
it's a different
like
thing.
sort of the most sort of promoters that are hosting events within our realm, is a lot of the times the events that people play themselves are the ones that people experience as the dopest. And I don't know. Therefore, I was excited with Best yesterday to play for 10 hours, and we really felt like, you know the place, you know the people.
Yeah.
Eventually, people just want to have a good time. They just buy a ticket because they want to dance, and we could like pay 8,000 euros for a certain DJ, but like you could do it yourself as well, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you can. I mean, you're in the lucky position.
Yeah, I mean, nice
sure. Music taste.
Obviously.
But I don't know, it's still tricky because on the one hand, you're like, okay, I don't want to be, like I talk with Gabriel as well, if we invite someone, I don't want to be the guy who plays the later slots, because it maybe seems like, I want to do it myself. But Gabriel always says like, we put so much effort to it. We are the ones that don't get any money of it. Sometimes you lose money. So why shouldn't we play? And I'm a bit like, I'm a bit like also people pleaser, so I'm like in between. Yeah. But it's like
it feels unethical.
It feels unethical, but on the other hand, like
why not? That was the main reason why we never played ourselves at our own event, because we weren't those kind of guys. We thought it would be weird, like to take up space.
Yeah, but it actually isn't. Like that's
I mean it isn't, and like
but there's levels to it as well. It's the way it's communicated, and it's the way it's played. There's a lot to it.
100%. And I think at some point, after pushing like an event for 3 years and not playing ourselves, we thought, we have the feeling that we're kind of seasoned in this sort of small scene that there is. So we have the feeling that right now, perhaps it's the time for us to step out and take up this space of what we try to create. But then, like, take an inspiration from let's say events as Siranda from Mendel. What I like about that, and what we both really loved about those events, is that you pair someone on a night. So there's this. You invite another DJ, and then it's not really like this block from I'm doing the opening for like 3 hours and the other one is playing 3 hours, but it's more or less you just play together. And that's how we did it yesterday as well. Like first both let's say an hour, and then 45 minutes each, and then slowly, steadily build towards, I don't know, playing tune for tune together. And that has the same energy as these sort of almost birthday events, where it's just a bunch of friends around decks and everybody's sort of creating this moment again. There's no real sort of there's no construction behind it necessarily. And
and then sometimes when you're like, oh fuck, I got 10 minutes only, and then you get, but if you don't have that, you can be like, okay, I can maybe let the song play out.
Exactly. And we built this night together, on the 6 hours that is the night, or yesterday was 10 hours. But so I think, I mean, and you're not, you kind of need to know, I guess, the people that you invite a bit. I mean, if we would, as you did, invite Marcellus Pittman, we don't know the guy, so we could propose, be like, hey, you want to do this together, But that feels also a bit weird. Therefore, we found that we really want to invest more in locals, people who visit the event, people who know the recipe, or just people who are familiar with us, who are friends, who we think would be a dope combination, and where it's really easy to ask such a thing, to create a night or an evening together. And I think that's how Mendel does it as well. It happens to be that he is friends with all these dope DJs. So so I mean, and it could be the case that within 10 years it's the same for us as how we see those events, So I think we just move forward in this way.
It's also nice to try stuff.
And it's also sorry.
No, go ahead.
it's also the way you shape things. Like I said, it's really important that there's for example, it starts with the poster. Like if you start just blasting you with the headliner, and this is the headliner, and you
Yeah.
kind of book people that sell tickets just with the name, but it's not about the party necessarily.
Right.
Then it turns into this kind of toxic relationship with the DJ is this is about, and not this whole recipe of everyone. You know, like the dinner you have, the people at the bar, the space, the light guys, everything is what the people are coming for. They're not coming for exactly you. You know, they're coming for everything.
Exactly, yeah.
And,
so but therefore that's what I see as well with both the programmer cap as a promoter and perhaps as the DJ as well. That I guess there's various ways in order to promote an event or host an event. But what I do think is eventually, if you want to have a successful event, people want to be there for the event, not necessarily for the DJs or the music, or just want to be there for like the whole package, you know, and trust that creation, especially if to like recall it again, in the first 2.5 years, people coming up to me, "Oh, I thought you were playing." I'm like, "Yo, if you look at the
look at
poster,
the poster.
you see that we're not playing." You know
what
But
happened
people don't look at those things. They just buy a ticket and be like, "Oh, I like this name. I know Weird. I go to that. I buy a ticket." And just don't, and then that's it. They bring like 10 friends, and then they're not in the know about it either, and then just like experience a night, you know. So, if you want to make it, if you want to do good, I guess as a promoter, it should be really about like pulling people in for the thing you're creating, and not necessarily building everything, based on lineups, I guess.
And also, go.
No,
Sir.
you go first. I just wanted to say, like, it's true, because all my friends always ask, like, when are you playing? They don't care about the other people. And
Marcellus Spitman over. Like,
no, I swear, but I mean, it's so true.
So,
4 years ago, I didn't know who any of these people were, you know. So it doesn't matter who's like playing at the end of the day. It's more like for you, and as like someone who's really in the scene, you're like, oh my god, this person is fucking playing. I need to be there.
Yeah.
But like for 90% of people that come, it doesn't matter.
Yo, and in all honesty, you could book Marcellus, but there's a big chance that the local even plays better than him, because he just doesn't know the venue, and he perhaps doesn't know like the crowd. So
and also the crowd gets like, they know, for example, us when we play. So there's a certain, you know what you're coming for, and the people are hyped to see.
Right.
But they don't know. I think at our event, for example, I think 40% didn't know who Marcellus was. And at the end of the night, people loved it, and it was one of the best nights we had. It was amazing. But I think most of them didn't know, and that's all right.
Yeah, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, but I think what I wanted to add also is not just the programmer's task, but like you said, it's also the club's task to make this all-around experience. You've got so many clubs that, for example, focus on headliners and putting all their money into it, and
but
then
no
things, no decoration, things don't look the way, or the sound is not really fitting to the people that are playing there, or whatever, or ticket prices are too high, whatever, and like it's a whole package. Everything is connected, and I think that's really what's missing. And I think the biggest part of it all, sorry to add so much sauce, but
go for it.
I think it's really important in like these times where we're losing so much like real community. You hear the word community everywhere, but like real community is really we I think in the world sense we are in the brink of community. Everything is globalized, and it's very tricky, and I think people just want to feel like they're a part of something, and they're like, I belong here, and I'm supposed to dance with these people here, and just as a very vague explanation.
I mean, but like the sort of why everybody's hating on this sort of word community too much, or that is overhyped or something, I don't know, also has to do with like this sort of capitalistic construction that organizations try to lure people into their event by taking inspiration from things from the past and kind of commercialize it, you know. So for me, it doesn't really. It's not necessarily a strange thing. It's just like logical if you look at it. Like why it's like not having the same impact as it perhaps had before. So yeah, I don't know. If something gets a hype, it's the same with like music and things that are people that play certain styles that weren't necessarily in their interests in the beginning, but perhaps got into their interests because of I don't know how sort of electronic music is shaping the new sounds and how pop culture actually adds to that a bit as well. And I don't know, people then also forgetting where things come from and the context behind those things, but just because they kind of hear it on the radio or because it's all around you, then it kind of loses its context perhaps a bit. And I think that's dangerous as well, you know. And we were talking about this yesterday at the build at the breakdown from the event as well, that I'm blessed to be surrounded by these friends who also kind of taught me that it's also good to have the context behind the music that you play or collect, because it's the least you could do to kind of be in the know at least where things come from, because usually there's a big like story behind it. Could be a protest, could be born out of sort of oppression, you know, all these things. So it's the least you could do. And I think with things taken over on the more commercial side of it, and how electronic music is sort of shaping the world right now, you kind of perhaps lose the need. People kind of lose the need to have it contextualized, you know. So I'm really curious where that is heading.
I'm also curious, maybe just to pivot a bit, because we talked about a lot about promoting and doing things, and you were doing Weird, I think, before you started at NAR. What made you decide to take the role at NAR with promoting? Was it something you grew into, or something where you were just like frustrated and said, hey, I want to do this?
So I before I worked at NAR, I worked at Echo, which was the venue we did Weird in the beginning. At first we started the event, and then half a year later the vacancy for programmer was available, and then they asked me to apply because apparently they seemed like a good fit, so I applied, and then eventually I got the job, and then I stayed there for 10 months. And then in the meantime I was already DJing at other places, but also a lot at NAR, and then I kind of got the hold of the place, and I was like, yo, this is like a dope spot. And I really loved working at Echo, but I think for me, sound wise and budget wise and location wise, it seemed to connect a bit more with my interests and where I was standing musically, I guess. And it gave me the opportunity to try out different things and try to do it my way a bit more, perhaps. So I had a meeting with the previous programmer, which is now the owner, because he bought himself in. And I got hold of the fact that he was going to buy himself in, and that there was a big probability that there was another vacancy opening there. And talking with Peter, which was my colleague, he left now, but he was helping Matthijs with the programming as well. And he told me that this whole situation was happening. So I had a meeting with Matthijs, as we did every 2-3 months or something, to talk a bit about, like, I don't know, local things for what's happening in the nightlife and clubs and everything. And then I just said, I heard this. I think I'd like your job. And he was like, oh, all right. Well, okay. And then like that afternoon, it was like arranged. So
crazy. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it was really your initiative that you thought like you wanted to contribute something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it felt like a logical step as well.
Yeah.
And for them as well. So that's dope.
Yeah. And
Congrats.
do you like a bit more like because you promote a lot? Do you try to focus your time now more on promoting or DJing? Or
For me, like
everything, or
DJing was where it started, and ideally is where it's heading. You know, so this is the thing that I love the most. And this, I mean, I'm just a fan of music and other people playing. You know, so I'm not really this. I think I'm like, if I need to promote like a big venue, I'm not your guy. You know. But I'm blessed to be able to do it at NAR because it's a smaller venue. Get the chance to book a lot of people, but then in the meantime, hosting my own event and play in my hometown at my own turf every, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something. Which I don't know, gives a lot of sort of structure within that DJ thing as well, perhaps. Therefore, I don't think I want to like evolve into working for a bigger organization on the programmer side, because then you're, as we already discussed, they are dealing with politics and lots of money things, you know, and it becomes perhaps a bit less, about sort of this idealistic way of how you want to see events, but it just moves on, you know, and it's a nice construction where everything kind of leans onto each other. But I don't really want to, I don't know, and you use sort of the ethical side of things as well. Like, it feels really weird to book yourself at an event or like a bigger festival, so I don't do that at NAR, obviously. Just do it at my own event with hosting with Vasco, and I don't. I just want to also make space and like give back and make room for other people, I guess. But I have the feeling that everything you do, being it working in a record store, hosting an event, or programming or producing music, all these things kind of add up to who you are as a persona, and that also assists in perhaps the DJ journey or where you want to move to, because it tells people a lot about who you are and what your intentions are, I guess within that thing. I mean, as I already said, like, I'm blessed to be surrounded with the friends that kind of got me into this music thing, and I really was intrigued by how they approached sort of this music thing, especially Vessel. Like, sort of his, for me, sort of, he's like the school example of sort of intentional, ethical way of sort of. It's super dope, you know, and that really inspired me, and I'm blessed that he kind of, I think, sharpens me a bit within that as well. I mean, if it wasn't for Wes, I'm curious if I was with other friends perhaps who did way other things. I'm really curious, like, how
you would be a hard techno,
perhaps, you know, or a hard techno bro or something. I don't know. So
could be.
Yeah, so that's like lots of people influence you in certain ways, I guess. So
and I also think, for at least for the two of us, I always said everyone who starts as a DJ, they should, like you said, work in anything. I think the best is to like do one party yourself, just to understand how important everything is and how much of an organ it all is. I'm not saying every DJ should have their own party, but somehow have DJs understand how everything works, because I think a lot of plug and play people just come in and they just think, this is it, I'm the shit and I'm here. But
I mean, eventually, what I usually say to like that's, I guess, how I approached it as well in the past, but usually what I try to give back to people who ask, like, how does this thing work? How do I get more bookings? Or like, how do I sort of get recognition of what I do or something? And the answer is actually quite simple, that 90% is giving and 10% taking, you know. If you want to make it work, you need to do it with the right intentions and give way of creating something and adding something to this local movement that is happening. through being a promoter and giving space for others, or hosting or being having a record store, or like I don't know, like giving back. Because if you give back, that says something about you, and eventually you'll be gifted with sort of things as well. It's not something you can really rely on, obviously.
No.
But it's something that I hear from like lots of people, that it's like 80% or 90% giving and 10% taking, and sometimes you're in your 10% taking era within the 30 years of doing this, you know, perhaps, yeah. So yeah, and that's super dope, man. Like yeah.
And ultimately, also, I think, of course, it's important get your bookings, whatever, but also there should always be, at least I think, love for music, and that shouldn't stress someone out. You should be able to play in your living room for 10 hours and just be like,
and that's what I still do every day. Yeah,
we're here, the sun is shining, playing music.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Beautiful. What else do you want?
I hear you, man. That's a really. I mean, that should be surely the. Yeah, a big thing, you know, being excited about these things and still keep on doing it, even though there's nothing happening in the booking land. So I don't know, and sometimes like sort of the stars align and things come your way if you do good, and good things come to you. I guess
you gotta feed the tree.
Yeah, but I mean that's why it's also like you said, like your 3 pillars. Like that's you, because it goes beyond just yesterday at Vert. It's like in the morning when you wake up, when you listen to a radio, when you prep something, when you find a new track. Yeah,
or you're busy with breaking down the event.
Even this, so all those moments come together and also really make it like worth it. Because
and then sometimes people say you work hard for it, so therefore things come your way, and that's a bit weird to say about yourself, obviously. But I think like lots of people are really putting time and effort into creating dope things, and that is surely something that people see and feel as well.
I think for sure you can feel. I also have it with a friend who does like fashion design, and he's always like, I'm putting so much effort like to the very small details, and maybe it's too expensive or it's too much work. But at the end of the day, if you take all the small pieces together, like your eye sees it, even if you don't recognize it, you notice. It makes a difference.
Yeah, man.
I think it's with all the same stuff. It's why if you play at a party and we're very particular. Okay, we want this mixer, we want these needles, because like then it makes us feel good and comfortable, and then I don't know. It's also shows that you care.
Man. Nice transition to the last question. It's very simple. Why do you care? I think just big picture. Why are you here? In a very devil's advocate, why should we care about Vasco and his 10%?
Or 80%.
Or 80.
It's I'm not really sure like how to answer it like in a direct, concrete way. Things just move forward, and you're inspired by certain things, and that moved you into certain ways, and now we're here, and I don't know, like I think what I really like about having the chance to sort of meet these people in the past and getting to know sort of the music thing a bit more is that like over time you kind of you kind of experience music in a different way, I think, because you just spend more time listening to it, and if I'm standing behind the decks at home and I listen to certain stuff, like physically it moves me, you know, like I really sort of get sort of muscle,
like sort of braingasm.
I just like my sort of muscle, not necessarily spasms, but like I don't know, like you want to move or something, and it really intrigues me, and like I'm really sort of beamed to how it would be to experience like such a track with so many people on like a super dope moment, and like facilitating something for people to have a great time, you know, and this just gives me like lots of nice feelings and ideas. And in the past, for example, I never actually cried about music or something like that. It really hit me, and then over time, once I was listening to it way more, right now I can really sort of be so intrigued with certain stuff that I listen to, and then I'm like, yo, okay, whoa, this really like hits different or something, and so yeah. That's why I guess I care, because you teach yourself to care at some point. I don't know, just I don't know, move forward and learn more, I guess. And it's a dope thing that you if you spend much more time in something, the fundamentals get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then at some point, like it's part of who you are, you know. So there's no running away from it anymore, and and that's sick. Like you, with all the years, I mean, we're young, you know, so with all the years we're hopefully able to spend in the future with sort of getting more dope stuff around us, just adds to the experience and adds to you. So I'm looking forward, man.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Forward to the future.
All right,
great.
we have 53 minutes left of music doing the talking. So thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, man.
And sharing your wisdom with us.
And now we got 53 minutes.
53 minutes of
Vasco
music. It's a mixed bag of. I forgot my USB stick at NAR.
That's great.
So I only brought records, and it's a mixed bag of the last weekend. So both
Nice.
you and
We
myself,
get a bit of an insight.
both you and myself have no idea where it's heading, but I'm looking forward to it. So
that's great.
Yeah, man.
All right. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. And 1 more hour of music.
You are now listening to Operator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was 2 hours with sunshine, with
2
Vasco.
hours of sunshine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really appreciated that you came down
man.
after the big weekend.
Yes.
And
super nice, man. The
share
weather is
your
great.
words.
Yeah,
and
man.
your
Thanks for the
music.
invite.
Yeah, thank you for doing what you do, curating the Netherlands step by step into a more conscious dance floor and a caring dance floor. I think it's really important. And I think a lot of people ask themselves like, why should I do this? It's all step by step, and together we form suddenly the scene, and suddenly maybe the Netherlands will be up for
Yeah, man.
this stuff that you do. So, or we all do to some extent. So thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite. Was dope.
Yeah.
Biertje?
See you next month. And a biertje. And a biertje.
And a little biertje. Enjoy
Cheers.
your biertje wherever you are, and thanks
See you
for
later.
tuning in.
See ya.
You're listening to Operator.